gonna get comfortable. This is so soft, it just brings me so much comfort. In the last video that I posted 4 months ago, I gave lots of tips and tricks of the ways that I've learned to kind of like manage my depression during the time where it's like cloudy and dark and freezing, right? And it's so funny that I'm saying that it's freezing because in New York here, like it hasn't really been that cold. Like I can count on my fingers how many freezing days. Like the first one was in December, and then the second one, February 6th, right? And then the third one was recently. So there haven't been that many freezing cold days. And there've actually been a couple days where like there's lots of sun. Wanted to go down the list of the advice, and I'll probably have it here, the advice that I gave during the video, and just talk about how that worked out for me. So the first thing that I definitely did was I went and got some blood work, which I said I was going to do. Or during the fall, I go and get blood work done and see where my levels are. So I actually started feeling it right after I made the video. I think I just was like, I think I was procrastinating, like going to the doctors, getting blood work done. And then lo and behold, it kind of snuck up on me. I was like, I need vitamin D. Cause I started feeling really tired. I started feeling really like exhausted and like had to sleep basically, which I know for me, those are the signs that comes up for me. We went to Walgreens beforehand and just kind of like self-prescribed, because I know some pharmacists and people just say usually you can just get off the counter, you don't have to wait for a doctor to prescribe. But I know vitamin D is one of those things that you can not overdose, but kind of like overdose or just kind of take too much of. And when you take too much of it, like I think my doctor a couple years ago was telling me like the ways that it can start affecting your urine. I was like, you know what? I'm very much that person where I'm like, leave it to the professionals, okay? I'm gonna leave it to the professionals. Started self-prescribing just like a little bit, like the ones where the doses was like, you take one a day. And when I was prescribed it before, because my level was so low, I was taking it like once a week. So that just kind of gives you an idea of like how high the levels must have been with my doctor prescribing. Because I had been taking the vitamin D pills for like a week or two before I went and got blood work done. My levels were actually like normal, and I was actually feeling the differences. So I think like taking the vitamins is still working for me. Secondly, I did not find a hobby, which is funny, like a hobby or an interest, I guess in a way you can say that. I guess the hobby for me is YouTube, like creating videos. Like I've said this before in my last video where I talked about, 6 months on YouTube. Like I think that has helped tremendously with my mental health. Being able to think of videos that I've always wanted to film, for sure. Having a hobby, I guess you can count YouTube as my hobby, has helped tremendously for my mental health. Having something to look forward to, which I think I mentioned in my last video, has helped. And for me, looking forward to creating videos has been really therapeutic for me. So I would say that's been like helping a lot. So I think the main things that I mentioned was getting blood work done, investing in a sad lamp, which is so funny. So I feel like, I think the last thing was investing in a sad lamp. So I actually have a sad lamp that's like under my, my TV stand or whatever. I didn't have to really use it because I feel like this winter wasn't really as wintry as like the past couple of years in New York here. So I feel like I got a good amount of sun. Like obviously there were some cloudy days, but I think, taking my vitamin D and having something to look forward to kind of like outweighed the fact that I didn't get as much sun. And I think the lights too, like having the lights from the vanity, like I was doing my makeup more. So I feel like, in my opinion, the sad lamps are like LED lights, like in my opinion, like because my sad lamp, which I think I'll try and incorporate here, because when I turned it on a couple years ago, I was like, this is low-key like a regular LED light that you use for filming, but that's just me. I think the last thing is the fact that like, this is my first time, like, so I moved out, right? This is my first time living by myself. And I will say, the ways, I think a lot of people talk about this when they move out of their parents' house, the way that my mental health has improved. I genuinely feel like I don't have to worry about, people commenting on how much I'm sleeping. Because in general, like, yes, like vitamin D deficiency just make you sleepy, but I'm just a person that likes to nap. Like I just like to nap. I like to be on the couch. I like to be comfortable. I like to watch TV. Like right now, I have Kitchen Nightmares on. I think having the freedom to just do what I want and move through a space without having to worry about somebody else has helped my mental health tremendously. So I think all of the things that I mentioned in combination with the fact that like I moved out, like obviously I'm not saying like, if you don't have the finances to move out, do not. If y'all want a video on that, I actually was thinking about making a video on like moving out, because there's so much planning behind it if you want to be strategic about it, that I think, I'm sure at this point a lot of people have videos on and they have tips and tricks. But if you want to hear about my experience about planning to move out, let me know down below. I would say like all of that. And you know, because I was thinking, I was like, what is it? Oh, it's also the fact that I moved out, and also my apartment gets lots of sun. Like I get lots of sun. So if it's sunny outside, I will for sure have sun like peeking through my living room. I would love to hear your experiences with seasonal depression if you have it, and if you don't, good for you. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. If you like this video and you're like, I'm not subscribed to her channel yet, what are we doing? I will see y'all in the next one. Bye. I really hope that was recording because I'm gonna be pissed.